And I was a little kid then. I had no brothers or sisters. And I didn't have, nearly as much weight. Problem, I was a rather attractive kid, as a matter of fact. At recess, I got lucky, but at any rate...
Jonathan Winters was so hilarious, it wasn't an uncommon occurrence for everyone to laugh when he started talking.
I play an ex-Marine, a guy who's done 30 years in the Corps.
And you were an ex-Marine?
And I was in the Marines. Not that long. Ed, you were in for quite a while, of course.
23.
20, that's plenty.
Even if he wasn't cracking a joke. This is Jonathan Winters being funny with zero effort. The elderly will never pose joke.
Nice to see you. Good evening, sir.
Carry on.
Yes, I love you. Take your clothes off and come down here, young man.
That's a good rejoinder.
That's not one of the paintings, by the way.
That'll take care of him.
It's awful hard to get people to pose in the nude.
I was looking at this. You got some...
The elderly will never pose. You don't see an elderly woman, in one of those magazines.
I just got
It's interesting, a woman 75, shriveled, Yeah. Nothing, hey, I'm not against people. I'm getting shriveled myself, especially in the area.
I'm looking for one.
What are you looking for?
I'm just looking for one.
Take your time. You won't be graded until well after 8. Pencils down. Time's up. You people with the blue
I
books.
can't find it now. It was the first and last day of spring.
Oh, yes, that's here. Here, let me help
Where
you.
is that? I just happened to see that. Do you know where that is?
I know the book. It's right on the cover.
Look at it.
Oh, here.
That's it.
This is it.
The first and last day of spring.
First and last day of spring. One woman asked me about these little black things. She said, "Are they licorice?" And I said, "Yeah, and they really stick to the town."
Winters states that the elderly refuse to pose like it's a documented fact, then lets a character voice step in and demonstrate the claim instead of simply explaining it. Why Winters likes his chickens.
Well, I suppose if you don't have money, that's a big
when
ranch.
you think of the homeless, I mean, they're just lying down, someplace in the street, and we have 2 acres to lie down in, which is important. But I do have chickens.
Would you keep them for the eggs, or?
Yeah, I keep them for the eggs. I don't. It's just kind of a strange thing. I like the chickens. It's something to visit, And my wife and I have been married for 40 incredible years, and I'm extremely happy. I'm completely programmed. Taken 40 years, to finally, yes. So after I've left her in the kitchen, sure. then I go out to the other acre, and the chickens are there, and of course I had this is in Montecito, just south of Santa Barbara, for people who are going through their map.
How many chickens you have?
I've got, now, some have passed on.
Sorry.
Yeah, they go to chicken heaven like anybody else. Or the other area. Become red chicken.
When they pass away, do you then eat them?
No, bury them.
Oh, I see.
I don't like to eat a dead chicken. Not that I like, live chicken or something else, but I...
What, are you a geek or something?
Well, no.
He explains his fondness for his chickens through an invented scenario instead of a plain statement, letting a character bit carry the actual explanation. Hunting door to door.
I remember one time, several years ago, a very short story, we'll condense it quickly. If a commercial should come up, I'll go with it anyway. But at any rate, a guy came into my house, and I haven't hunted anything in a long time. World War II, we hunted constantly. And and we did see 2, what we were destined to be Toyota dealers, and we scared them, and they went, but
Toyota salesman joke. He flips the usual sales dynamic completely, treating an ordinary car salesman like prey being tracked, rather than a nuisance politely turned away at the door. Why Winters doesn't like the term, "How are we doing?"
When teachers say, and a lot of people say, how are we doing? What does this mean? Why can't you say, how are you doing? But they say that in hospitals. How are we today? Not good. See him? He doesn't like you.
So Mrs. McCauley was giving you trouble already.
So Mrs. McCauley, she said, there's no reason for you to continue on in the first grade if you can't make a bunny.
Oh.
But I fooled her. I was kind of a papier-mâché intellectual. I went around her, skipped the first grade entirely, committed myself to the attic, and stayed there. Read a lot of magazines, and listened to the squirrels wandering around, and then came down in time for the second grade. And I had a lot of problems. But I did manage to get through school. I find there are a lot of presidents, not a lot, but a few, that have not had the great education and managed to pick it up later on, you know? Maybe through theft, I don't know, or what. But
He dissects the phrase's odd grammar and presumption with mock seriousness, treating a completely ordinary greeting like a genuine grievance worth investigating on stage. A military corporal joke.
at any rate, coming out of the service, my father said, which is standard, I think, for most fathers, to a boy, he said, "What are you going to do, kid? You haven't done anything for the last 3 years with yourself." Of course, and I was a corporal. I mean, that was a big thing to me, you know, a corporal. I was told that if you made corporal, you were as good as a general.
Yeah.
I believed that. When the man came by in the Jeep on the, at the Navy Yard and I saluted him, that was my salute, you know? He was an Army general, had no business on a Navy base. I said, "I'm better than you. I'm a corporal in the Marines, okay?" Oh, hey, heavy. So I thought maybe the guys were coming out with Uzis for a moment. But we never know today whether, you know.
We have cut away for a moment.
Really? Why?
Yeah, Mr. DeCorda was telling
I had
you.
no word on that.
Yes.
Should have briefed me, Johnny.
You didn't hear that, huh?
No, I didn't hear that.
Well, we'll.
He adopts the voice and posture of a corporal fully, letting the character's small-minded authority become the entire source of comedy rather than any single line. Refusing to attend an award show to go eat ribs.
Hopefully listening. We had a choice, one choice, of going to a fellow's house to have ribs. And thought I'd say his, no. But we had, they were marvelous ribs, hands and stuff. And then we sat down and watched. There were about 12 or 14 of us, and then they announced it. And I saw the picture of myself, the still. And there's just no explanation, where is he? They can say a lot of things. And I was in just a house with
ribs.
Other people and ribs. So, but it was a big thrill. I asked, and then the following day I said, "Where is the award?"
That's right.
And somebody said, "Well, since you weren't there, you don't get it."
Was that your wife again?
No.
How is the missus, by the way?
She's fine.
Good.
She's fine. She looks better than ever. And of course, come on, we're not kids anymore, John. And but she's not bedridden, and.
Winters frames skipping an actual industry award show for barbecue as a completely reasonable trade-off, rather than a joke made at the ceremony's expense. And that deadpan logic of preferring ribs over prestige is what sells the whole bit. Carson's reaction adds another layer here, since watching a host process a guest genuinely explaining why barbecue won out over a trophy tends to sell the absurdity even harder than the line itself. The Chester Honey Hugger origin story.
Where did the Chester honeysuckle originate?
Chester Honey Hugger.
Honey Hugger.
Honeysuckle's close. Chester Honey Hugger.
Honey Hugger, where did...
It's a little kid. Now, if you interview me as a little kid, I'd try to be a little kid. Picture a 66-year-old man.
Trying to be a little kid. How's school going?
Pretty good. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be out pretty soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you have a girlfriend yet?
Yeah, I've got a girlfriend in the 9th grade.
Well, that's ninth grade.
I'm in the 3rd.
Isn't she a little old,
It
advanced?
doesn't make any difference.
Well, but...
Physically, she's gangbusters.
I know, but what do you know about sex yet?
I don't know anything.
Oh, jeez.
But I'm willing to learn.
Of course.
And we're getting diagram drawings of human beings,
Sure, yes.
dotted lines. And
I
things.
see.
Yeah.
Do you practice safe sex?
I don't think anything's safe.
I think they probably...
Except in baseball.
That's right.
Safe.
We'll be back.
Winters slips fully into the Chester Honey Hugger character while narrating how the persona came to exist, blurring the line between describing the character and actually becoming him in real time rather than explaining him from any safe outside distance. That approach, letting the character explain his own origin rather than having Winters narrate around him, was a consistent feature of how he introduced his recurring gallery of invented people. Carson's amusement builds as the origin story wanders further from anything resembling a normal explanation, and by the time the story concludes, nobody in the room could confirm which details were performance and which were something closer to a genuine account. Johnny Carson interrogates Winters as a general.
Tell me, General, the diversion of funds to the Contras, There seems to be a trail from Switzerland to Iran back to the Contras. Did you have any personal knowledge of the diversion of funds? And did you profit from any of those monies at all?
That's a long question.
I want you to take your time, General.
Well, I'll certainly do that. I would say that's a two or three parter.
Well, let's take the first part. Did you know about the diversion of funds?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Carson plays interrogator opposite Winter's fully committed general character, giving both men fixed roles to build spontaneous material from, rather than relying on loose improvisation alone. Winters leans into the general's gruff, evasive bluster, giving Johnny plenty to push against, as he tries extracting a straight answer from someone built entirely around avoiding one. And that structured back and forth gave the segment a different energy than Winters simply narrating a story solo. Carson's own comic instincts get a real showcase here too, since keeping pace with an interrogation format required active participation rather than just reacting to jokes arriving on their own schedule. Jonathan impersonating the president with Carson asking questions.
Mr. President, now this question, I hope, Mr. President, you realize that I'm asking this question with all due respect of your office, but it's well known to the voters of this country that you were a poor farm boy.
Oh, gosh, we didn't have anything.
You became president. You come from a poverty-stricken family, and yet today you live in a $6 million home. And
well,
do you care to comment at all on that? How on a president's salary?
I really don't care to comment on that. I'm toward the end of my string, and I don't want it snapped.
A mock press conference gives Winters and Carson a familiar structure, with Johnny posing as a journalist while Jonathan holds the presidential character opposite him and leans into vague, evasive political doublespeak that makes the humor come from watching a fake president dodge real-sounding questions with total, unearned confidence. That format let Carson actively shape the scene through his questions, rather than simply reacting from the sidelines, and the segment builds momentum as the questions get more pointed and the answers get correspondingly more absurd without ever losing the character's straight-faced conviction. It's a good example of how political satire could work through pure character performance, rather than any specific topical joke aimed at a real person. United States Senator impression.
Now let's just go 180 degrees from that and take the role of a brand new eager beaver, young senator or congressman trying to run for office. Who would you like to be called?
Brainerd Stayfuss.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Brainerd Stayfuss.
Brainerd Stayfuss.
Brainerd Stayfuss from this district, who is running for United States Senator.
No, I'm running for president.
Running for president, I see. Well,
I have been a senator. I'm tired of that.
I see. You want to move up.
Winters adopts a booming, self-satisfied voice for the senator, letting the character's overblown confidence become the joke rather than any single line of dialogue, and his full commitment to the physicality and cadence pushes it past a simple impression into something closer to a complete character study. Carson's reaction builds as the senator's bluster escalates, since watching someone fully inhabit that kind of self-important persona gets funnier the longer it holds up under its own accumulated weight. It's a good example of how a broad political archetype became specific and memorable once filtered through his particular style of invention. The art competition joke.
No.
You didn't get into art by entering one of those little matchbook ads. They're still out, you know. Could draw the pirate, or have you seen those? Famous art school, you can draw.
Yes, I have seen
And you draw
those.
the parrot or a little pirate, and you send it in.
I did a combination and was still turned down. I did.
I mean, they turned somebody down.
Oh, sure. I did the parrot, apparently on the wrong shoulder of the pirate. And then I did the pirate eating the parrot. And the guy sent me a heavy-duty letter. He said, obviously, you got big problems. Of course, as I was writing from the place.
Winters took his own painting seriously outside of comedy, which gives a bit about an art competition, an interesting mix of genuine investment and his usual instinct toward gentle mockery aimed at the institution rather than himself. He describes entering or imagining himself in some kind of contest, using the premise to poke fun at the pretension surrounding art competitions generally, which is a slight departure from his more self-deprecating material and gives the bit a different comedic angle than his usual targets. Carson's questions draw out specific details about the imagined competition rather than letting Winters Winters simply state the premise and move on, and that back and forth turned a genuine outside interest into a performance built around exaggeration and invented scenarios rather than a simple hobby discussion. After watching all of these moments, this video should have proved that Jonathan Winters could take any subject in the room and find the exact angle that turned it into a character before anyone noticed the conversation had moved. So, which Jonathan Winters bit from this list made you laugh the hardest? Let us know down in the comments and subscribe so you don't miss more classic funny moments like these. See you later.